What's up, everybody? You're back with the Chosen Con, and today I have with us in the studio Mr. Gabe Massey from Wenatchee.
I am, yes.
Where the hell is Wenatchee, first and foremost, Gabe?
Okay, so Wenatchee, Washington is like the center of Washington.
That no one goes to.
Well, I mean, like, it's it's a lot more populated than like the other small little towns around there. So it's like a city, but yeah, it's kind of a place that nobody goes to because when you think of Washington, what do you
Seattle.
think? Exactly.
Yeah. So you were born in Wenatchee.
No, I was actually born in Edmonds.
Oh,
Washington.
Another Washington. It's a little bit bigger though.
It's near, not near Seattle.
Yeah,
I don't think it's like more.
I know it's by Everett type of.
Yeah, it's on the coast.
Got it. So you were born out there,
and then
lived in Wenatchee, and now so we have Gabe in the studio. Gabe is actually our audio man.
Yes.
Out in Wenatchee, so he's always fixing our audio. And now, thanks to Gabe and Luke, our audio is good finally. So you do music for a living in a sense, like you're trying to make a living out of it.
Well, I mean, I don't know about a living, but I want to do that for the rest of my life. Yeah.
It's your passion.
Yeah.
You figured that out.
Yeah.
And you were telling me in the podcast that basically music is that place that you go to and you get to open up and you get to, when you're having those negative days, you listen to sad music and you get to create. So what's that like?
I mean, I'm just used to doing that, I guess, because like I've been doing it for a few years now, so that now it's just automatic to where if I feel bad about something, I just write. I just write about it, and then it turns into a song.
That's your release.
Yeah.
And what kind of music do you make? You make
it's like emo rock kind of stuff. That sounds really lame to say.
Why, man? It's cool though, because
like 2017. Whenever people think of emo, it's like, oh, you're wearing all black.
Yeah.
You're really sad about everything.
It's a misconception.
Yeah, it's just a misconception. I mean, the emo genre is vast. Yeah. But, yeah, I do that. And I also have some synthy songs, like more synth-oriented things.
And then you also work at a retirement home.
I do.
Right? Yeah. And why I bring up the retirement home is that lately you've been there for about a month. Yeah. And you said that you've been having some interesting realizations. Yeah. What was that one realization that you would really bring to the surface?
That death is a concept that's real. Cause like before I worked there, I always I would think about death as like something that would eventually happen. And I mean, I think about it like every day sometimes to the point where it's like this is something that will happen. But after working at this retirement home, it's kind of like it brings it so much more depth.
How's that?
And weight, because sometimes when like you'll serve one of these residents, you'll like take their order and you'll see them, and then you'll come back the next day and they've passed.
Where the hell did you go?
They're not there anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just odd. And I mean, it's expected to an extent. I mean, these people are like 70, 80. I don't know about 70. 70 is not that old. Yeah. But like 80 and 90. It's getting up there. And so it's like not really a shock. Like it is. But like it's
to
something.
Most people, though.
Yeah, it's something that happens at that age. But still, it's just kind of shocking to like come into work and suddenly this person that you've seen every day for the past couple weeks isn't there anymore.
It's interesting because even in the podcast we dove into how I had that realization when I was cleaning my uncle's body. He passed away about 3 years ago, I believe, and his lifeless body was just there, and cleaning it and realizing, hey, you know what? I'm going to be lying here too, and some of my closest family members or friends will be cleaning my body as well, which is what we do. And it's crazy when you think about it that, hey, someone's here one day and then the next day they're not. Yeah. And it kind of, I guess, makes us realize that, hey, look, let's actually take full advantage of the time that we have while we are here. Yeah. And so you were also saying to me that your music, just with life in general, it's always evolving. Yeah. Right? What's that like, going back to you from when you started till now?
It's really weird, I guess. It's a really weird experience to go back to these songs that I wrote like 5 years ago or like 4 years ago and just like listen to it and it's like, oh, this is who I was when I was 15 or 16. Like, these are the kind of things that I dealt with, and like some things are still around, but then other things are way in the past, and it's just interesting because now I write about completely different things sometimes, and like I write differently and mix things differently, and so it's just like a time capsule kind of. And in 10 years, I imagine I'll look back at stuff I write now and say, oh, this is what I was going through at that time. I'm so glad that I've grown and achieved better things.
And you were also saying that most people, it's like, if you don't evolve, they kind of die. So you have friends or some people they haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
That they're the exact same as they were last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
And like your music, you're saying it's like being able to see that growth. It's a beautiful feeling, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, it's definitely an experience that I'm sure it's like, for me, when I hear music, I see like images in my head, and so it's kind of like audible pictures.
Really?
I guess, which would be a movie,
Yeah.
I guess, but it's just like people take pictures of things so they can remember it in the future, and I write things, and I don't write it so I can remember it, but like I can write something and then come back to it in like a year or two, and it's just like looking at a picture. I can remember when I wrote that song. I mean, sometimes I don't remember,
But you get that feeling too. You know exactly. That's actually a very powerful thing. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Even as a musician, you see pictures, you see these vivid things in your mind when you're creating and composing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really something that all musicians
But you
have,
do.
but I can like see things like sometimes when Luke and I are working on music videos,
Yeah.
like I just see images that go along with the music, and we incorporate that.
That's why you're
yeah.
creative.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if anybody wants to be able to connect with Gabe, they can check out your stuff on, what is it, The Hobby?
Yeah, it's The Hobby. That's the emo rock thing.
Check out the emo rock thing. I'm serious.
Yeah, it's
I got to check it out now properly.
yeah, it's on SoundCloud and Spotify, iTunes.
You're on everything. We'll
Yeah.
have it up here as
YouTube.
well.
Yeah.
Right? And then if there's one thing that you could kind of leave, maybe even just a musician that's going through it, what would you say? Anything, I guess, positive, like anything, what would you say? One piece of advice that really worked for you.
Don't give up when somebody criticizes you. I had a hard time, like, because like I'd slave away at songs, and then I'd release it and somebody would say, oh, this sounds bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, to me it sounds good. And so I guess take criticism, but don't let it dissuade you from doing something that you think sounds good.
That's perfect. I love that, man. I get criticized all the damn time from Luke. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Stay tuned. And if you want to listen to the full podcast where we go dive into all of this stuff even deeper, we'll have all the links below, too. Peace. Oh, you stuck around. Thanks for checking out our video. Check out our podcast. It's a lot deeper and there's more meat to it. And watch the other videos. There's a lot of perspectives you'll love. Again, thanks. And please subscribe for God's sakes.